My name's Haley. The topic that I'm going to be debating today is that nobody should be hospitalized for suicide involuntarily. I will be arguing against this statement for the con side, as I think that if someone is showing signs of being suicidal or having tried to commit suicide, they should be hospitalized in order for them to get the help that they need and deserve in order to prevent it from happening or from happening again. Some of the points that I will be touching on are if the signs of someone being suicidal, reasons why they should be hospitalized involuntarily, who can decide to have someone committed to the hospital, and ways to help those who are beginning to show some signs of further of suicide and further prevent it. So looking into this, the first thing I wanted to discover when researching was how many deaths are a result of suicide within the United States along with around the world. I came across the Suicide Awareness Voices of Education, and they claim that suicide is one of the leading causes of death in the United States, taking approximately 38,000 lives per year. From this, I looked a little deeper and discovered that every 40 seconds, one person around the world dies from suicide. These numbers are way too high, in my opinion, and does just like makes me wonder if these people are receiving the help that they need from a psychologist, or they need so much help that they can't decide to go and get the help that they need, so they need someone else to commit them to a hospital in order for them to get better. An article on suicide assessment in hospital emergency departments explained that depression plays a major role in the suicides committed each year. Some of the signs that they say to be on the lookout for: if someone has extreme hopelessness, lack of interest in activities, high anxiety levels, and being easily agitated. Some other signs are if someone is doing substance abuse of alcohol or drugs, which could lead to overdose. These are the main signs to be on the lookout for, but there are some smaller ones also. I think that the involuntary hospitalization of an individual who shows any of these signs should be done to the point where family and friends are unable to leave them alone, as they are afraid of what may happen or how their thoughts could take control of them. Very Well Mind said, if you are feeling suicidal and is believed that you are in danger of hurting yourself, this would fall under an umbrella of reasons for short-term commitment or involuntary hospitalization. When the behaviors and actions have reached this point, the signs and symptoms that I previously explained have come to the severity where the individual is talking about committing suicide and even and showing all the signs of doing it, is when the matter needs to be taken out of their hands and have either a family member, a close friend, or even a police officer who has witnessed and heard these signs of the individual can be taken out of their hands, and they can be committed to a hospital in order for them to get the help that they need and deserve. Another great way to prevent suicide are prevention programs that were mentioned in our book that have shown to reduce the percent of deaths from suicide from 6% to 2%, which is good. The Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance explained that some other ways to help someone in a crisis are to offer help and listen, encourage your loved one to call the suicide hotline in order to talk to someone that they don't know and they don't know them. So it's confidential and they feel like they can just let everything out. Take any threats or casual mentions of death or suicide very seriously, as if they become so severe, take them to the psychiatric center or the emergency room. With these points and with the research that I've done, I also understand the side of the opposing side, so the pro side. I can see their perspective, as where placing someone in a hospital without their permission is kind of against their rights and freedoms. But with that, if we allowed them to be in charge of their own treatment, they would not receive any treatment at all if they didn't recognize their problem that they had. And eventually, they would suffer the consequences if they did decide to commit suicide. Noticing that this kind of debate is also kind of like a morals kind of thing. And me personally, if I had a family member that was showing these signs, or I knew a friend that was showing these signs, me personally, I would have the feeling that I would need to do something um, in order to help them, because I wouldn't want to see them suffer also. With this, I also understand that medical help doesn't always work for everyone, but they should, psychologists and doctors should adjust their treatment for specific patients, and each case is different in their own way, like mentioned in the book. Um, and so the treatment should be unique for that unique individual in order to help them in the best way possible. So looking at this argument in a whole, um, from looking at both sides, I still stand with my side, the con side, that I think someone should be hospitalized involuntarily, even if they refuse, and just fight you against it, because in the end, they are somewhat ill and need help, but they just don't recognize it. And if someone could step forward and make that first step for them and get them into a building or a hospital or a psychiatric facility in order for them to get the help that they need, I think they will be grateful for it in the end. So that's all I have, and I'll list all my sources in the comments. Thank you.